Morning students, today we are going to start a new topic, user interface. Here one term is the user. So what is user? Here user means those persons or those who are using the computer or accessing the computer are called user. And here computer program. Here program means a set of instructions which is given to the computer. In between user and the commands or set of commands of the computer, there is an interconnection between the user and computer through the user interface. It acts as a bridge or connection between the user and computer program. It may be some icons, maybe commands, maybe some menus to communicate between user and the computer program. If you are giving some inputs, that means user are giving inputs and all those things processed with the help of the user interface, and we are getting the output through the program. There are three types of user interface. UI means here user interface, short form. The three type of user interface. One is the character user interface, two is a menu driven interface, three is a graphical user interface. First of all is a character user interface. Here written as a character. Character means this character may be some textual, some numerical values. Some example of a character user interface is Apple DOS and simply a MS DOS, Microsoft Corporation under Unix. These are the example of the character user interface. So in the character based interface, you have to give some commands. Which type of commands? There are textual command, textual or numerical commands. Suppose if you want to see any movies, maybe some pictures, maybe some audio files, so you cannot use through the any pointer devices like as a mouse. You just enter, you just have to enter the codes. Which type of codes? That is textual code. Which type of? This type of textual codes. You just write, and if you want to show today's date, you have to give the C dot slash C dot and date. So computer can give you the exact date of today's date. So just you have to write down the different type of codes. If you want to delete some files, so you have to write the codes on the programming area. Look on the screen. This is the DOS programming windows. Here mentioned different type of codes to how to open, how to delete, or any other programming things. Already you can all the programming, all the details you can see on the screen. In character user interface, don't require any mouse pointer. Just you have to use the keyboard. Simply you type the different type of codes, like as a C colon and this is slash. This will be slash and today's date you can see. If you want to delete, better user interface require less memory to execute any task. It is less memory are required. Less memory are required and does not use much CPU processing time. Instead, just you give the inputs or give the command, textual command, and automatically in leisure time you can see the output through the CPU processing. That means less times are required to show the output. But it is difficult. It is difficult to access for the beginner because we have to memorize different type of codes and you have to put or you have to write down, you have to give the exact command, that is accurate command, otherwise it will display an error message. And next is your menu driven interface. In menu driven interface, basically it's enable the user to use the computer programming through the screen. I am taking an example. You can see the ATM machine where we can withdraw the money or we can deposit the money and we can transfer the money. That means banking activities are done through the ATM. In the ATM there are different type of menus you can see on the screen, and on the screen which menu is required to you, and you just click on that particular menus. Maybe some to withdraw money, maybe some to see the mini statement, maybe transfer the money. So this type of interface based on the menus. Here just only press the enter key or different type of here all just only keyboard will be used to access different type of banking activities through ATM, or simply maybe some touch screen. You just press on naming screen, you just press the options which is available, and otherwise some indication will be there on the menu chart and there will be a arrow sign. You just click on arrow options and use your banking systems. So this is also a user-friendly user systems. It is easy to access rather than the character user interface. We don't have to memorize here in menu driven interface. Don't have to memorize all those codes. This is a user-friendly interface. It is easy to access everyone. Disadvantage. What is menu driven interface is that getting to particular options can be often involve working through a many different menu screen. Menu-driven interface slower for experienced user and limited menu options available. That is limited menu available on menu driven interface. 10 or 12 menus will be available. A limited menu will be available. Often request to you to access multiple menu screen to perform simple functions. So these are the disadvantages. In menu driven user interface provides you with a range of commands or options in form of list or menus. In form of list or menu and displayed in a full screen or pop-up or pull down or drop down. Pull down or drop down. Next is your graphical user interface. In the is your graphical user interface. In the graphical user interface, a form of user interface that allows user to interact with the electronic devices through graphical icons and audio indicator, such as the primary notions, instead of text based. Instead of text based user interface, type command level or text navigations like as a CUI. It is very easy to access this type of user interface. I'm giving some example, that is Apple, Macintosh, MS, Windows. These are the example of the graphical user interface. Look on the screen. This is your Windows. There are three types of graphical components. One is the Windows. One is a Windows. Next is a icons. Next is a menu. Next is a pointer. You just look on the screen. This is a Windows. Under the Windows, you can see the different type of icons. Maybe some my computer, maybe some recycle bin, maybe some control panel. There are different type of menus, different type of icons. To access this type of graphical user interface, we can use keyboard or maybe mouse, pointer. Window. Under this window, maybe there are different of icons. My computer, recycle bin, bin, maybe some control panel, maybe MS Word, maybe MS Excel, maybe some printer software icon. Maybe this is Epson. These are the icons, and enter is the Windows. You can see the Windows also your icons. Some of the Windows, in case of some of the Windows, you can see in place of icons, just you can see the different of list, that's menus. But I'm here drawn simple some icons and Windows. In some cases you can see the list also, that's mean this is called menus. If you want to open this my computer through the mouse pointer, you simply move your mouse, then you can see some notions or symbols of the arrow sign. It's the pointer. Whose pointer? Mouse pointer. You just move your mouse and go to the my computer and double click over it, that particular icons. Then your next dialog box will open, so you can easily access. Next, if you want to open a Word file or maybe Excel file, you just move your mouse pointer and double click over all the options. Then your programming will start to access your work, maybe Excel work, maybe Word work. So these are the way to use the graphical things. This type of user interface is easy for the beginner, and it also allows computer user to employ visual element to navigate and open to operate software. Here operate software means, suppose this is a printer icons. If you want to connect with the printer, you have to do entire work through this type of icons. Without installation of the software to connect printer, it cannot be possible. You just go through your mouse pointer over here, you just double click or right click over here as your requirement. Then you can access the printer through, or you can operate the printer through this type of software. And in GUI, that means graphical user interface, don't have to memorize all the codes or input text command which used in character based user interface. Under GUI, more memory are required to execute the task, and more CPU processing time are required, and it also slower than the character user interface to execute the specific task. Next here, differences between the CUI and GUI. CUI stands for character user interface, but GUI stands for graphical user interface. In CUI, using commands like a text, commands like a text. Here, but here, computer used graphics like as a image icons. In GUI, navigation is difficult. That means one place to another place you cannot move on. Just you simply write down the codes. But in GUI, you can go through anywhere through your mouse pointer. That means navigation is easy. CUI work very fast. Speed is very high than the GUI. Here, less memory are required, but here more memory are required. This is a little flexible user interface. This is a highly flexible user interface. But CUI appearance is not easy to change, but GUI is highly customized. Highly customized means you can change anytime as your requirement. So thank you all. Have a nice day.